So episode 9 and 10 of Singles Inferno was posted today, and a lot of unexpected things happen, so let's talk about it. In episode 9, once they get done with the challenge, Jin Young goes to talk to Sulky, and from their conversation I noticed that all Sulky truly wants from Jin Young is for him to pursue her. Like, he will say little surface level things, but he will never truly really express his feelings for her, even though it's clear as day he really likes her, and it's frustrating to watch. Like, if Jin Young made it plainly obvious that he really liked Sulky and she was his final pick and actually pursued her, she would have went with him to paradise. Like, this whole nonchalant act he's doing is getting very annoying. Like, dude, just express your feelings at this point. Anyways, he goes to paradise with Nadine and they surprisingly have a lot in common. Or maybe Nadine was just pretending to like whatever he liked. But although their conversation was going great and he seems to have a lot in common with Nadine, then Sulky, there was still something off about their whole date. Like, I feel like he's really not into her like he is with Sulky, and that's because he's not sexually attracted to her. Like, during his date with Sulky, they had an intense chemistry, and they were heavily flirting with each other the whole time, and that's why he keeps saying that the date was very impactful. And I feel like he's been trying to get that same chemistry he had with her with the other girls, but it just hasn't worked out. So I believe that's why he's really still stuck on Sulky. And I feel so bad for Nadine, because you can tell Nadine really wants to get to know him, but she knows that he likes Sulky. I will explain later why I believe this is the real reason why he didn't pick her, and why I don't think it was because of her whole student situation. Sulky and Jongwoo little paradise date was somewhat cute. You can tell she's trying her best to like him, but she's still stuck on Jin Young. Also, I peeped how she was covered up during their swimming pool scene, but with Jin Young she was showing a lot more skin, and that's because, like I said before, her and Jin Young have a lot of sexual chemistry. That's why they both really like each other, and that's why they can't get away from each other, because they don't have that with anybody else in the show. Although Jongwoo says he doesn't want to pressure Sulky in making any decisions, he kind of does, like he's so emotional. And anytime Sulky tells him she doesn't know how she feels despite his efforts, he gets so emotional and is always on the verge of crying. And this puts Sulky in such an awkward predicament, like she really doesn't like him, like that. But she can't reject him because he really likes her and he puts in a lot of effort towards her, so I feel like she has a lot of sympathy towards him, and because of that she forces herself to like him. This is exactly what So-e was doing to Young Jae, but unlike Sulky, Young Jae still went with who he truly liked, despite knowing it would hurt her feelings. So-e and the new guy's relationship is so cute, like he's so considerate of her feelings, and he genuinely really likes her. I wish they got more screen time. Their dynamic is fun to watch. It's nice that she's getting a happy ending she deserves, after spending half of the season crying and pursuing a boy that didn't like her. I'm still mad that she never got to go to paradise. Like, it's still shocking how nobody picked her. I feel like she would have made the show more interesting and fun if one of the guys liked her. But because nobody was pursuing her, she got little to no screen time, which sucks because I would have loved to see her personality more. In episode 10, once they come back from paradise, Jin Young goes straight to Sulky again. They start talking and flirting, taking pictures. The chemistry is off the roof. Then they go sit down. Jin Young starts asking Sulky a bunch of questions, and she literally starts confessing her feelings to this man. Like, she tells him he's been on her mind, and that she likes him. And then do you know what he does? He says nothing back, just pure silence. And then he brings up the fact that he's not well established or settled down, and that he's too busy taking care of himself. That he wanted somebody who is already settled, and because she is a student it might make things complicated. And I'm like, dude, first thing, she already knows you are not well off. Like, everybody can tell that you are not rich. You look like you work minimum wage, and Sulky of all people knows this. The girl is filthy rich. She comes from a really rich family. She knows that you probably don't have everything together, but she doesn't care. She still likes you. And then he brings up the fact he's worried if they get into a relationship, he might not be there for her when she really needs him. He was just thinking too deep and complicating things for himself. All she wanted was for you to tell her you really wanted her, and how much you liked her, and she would have been yours. But after she confessed her feelings for you, all you did was make her more confused. Like, no wonder she picked her backup plan at the end. Jin Young is so irritating and annoying. And all that rubbish he was saying didn't matter at the end, because he still picked Sulky. This is why I believe Nadine being a student wasn't really why he didn't pick her. At the end he went with the girl he was the most attracted to, and wanted to pursue a relationship with. Dongwoo and Minsu pulled a Soe at the end. They both stupidly tried to pursue somebody that blatantly rejected them. Dongwoo has to be the most delusional person in this show. I laughed when Minsu started crying over Jin Young. Koreans must move really fast when they date. Because I don't understand how people on this show start sobbing over somebody they met 24 hours ago. Like it's never that serious. Their little campfire scene was so funny, especially when Nadine mentioned she went to Harvard. But the funniest moment for me was when Jin Young purposely asked Sulky to pick which paradise date was her favorite, and she said she wouldn't, and Jongwoo immediately started crying. I kind of felt bad for laughing. I feel so bad for Jongwoo, because we all know why she didn't say who her favorite paradise date was, because it wasn't him. Sulky is low-key a sweetheart. Like she's very considerate of Jongwoo's feelings, and you can tell she felt really bad when he started crying. She's better than me because I would have let out a little chuckle. Anyways, at the end Jin Young went to Sulky, but I hate the fact that he made a quick stop to Nadine. I low-key feel like one of the directors told him to do that, to make everything seem more dramatic. Sulky ended up picking the guy that has been kissing the ground she walks on since day one, instead of the guy that has been causing her nothing but stress and confusion, and has a hard time confessing his feelings. She picked her backup plan at the end, and I don't blame her. I would have done the same thing. I low-key respect her for her decision. Jin Young's nonchalant, indecisive and arrogance is the reason why he lost at the end. Anyways, these are the couples I think lasted after the show. I'm 50-50 when it comes to them. A part of me feels like they didn't last, but a part of me feels like they did. These two are probably dating. I feel like they're taking things slow, but I really do hope they ended up together after the show. These two did not last at all after the show. I feel like Sulky ended up with Jin Young because he posted this little thing on his Instagram story kind of alluding to it. So I feel like after the show, Jin Young reached out to Sulky and confessed his feelings for her and actually pursued her. And obviously her heart is with Jin Young, so she most likely ditched or ghosted her backup plan and went with him. There have been speculations that Nadine and Hanbin are together because she posted this picture blocking a guy's face. But the guy was wearing the same ring that Hanbin was wearing in one of his Instagram pictures. And for the holidays, Nadine and Hanbin are literally snowboarding at the same place, but I don't think they're dating. I feel like they're just friends. Hanbin is literally friends with almost everybody in the show. As for her, I honestly feel like she checked out of the show mentally a long time ago, so I don't think she really cared that no guy was really pursuing her. Like she's one of the only few girls in the show that wasn't crying over somebody. I feel like she was really only disappointed that she never went to paradise. Nadine had took a picture of her and she reposted the picture on her Instagram story and tagged her. It's kind of cute to see that both of them are spending time together after the show. They are really the only two girls I've seen after the show that met back up with each other, so that's nice to see. Hopefully we actually get to know who ended up together after the show, because they are having a reunion. So hopefully at the end of the reunion they tell us what happened after. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.